Hey everybody, Bob Babbitt, Breakfast with Bob, Boston Marathon Edition. We're presented and hosted by Hyland's. Stop your cramp, not your race, by Polar. Check out the Polar Vantage M and the Marathon Edition. And by UCAN, perform, workout, energize. Our next guest, Mr. Polar, Mr. Stan Brajer.
Yes, sir, Bob, dude.
How you doing, buddy?
We're in Boston. It's a happening spot.
How many years have you been at this
This
thing?
is my 38th Boston
really?
Marathon. Not running, but working.
And how many did you run?
I have never run the Boston Marathon.
What?
Only New York City.
You have not run Boston?
No, not for an 800-meter guy.
I was going to say, you were an 800-meter guy.
It's like an ultra, you know?
Yeah. So over the years, you have seen a lot of changes.
Absolutely.
This event's always been like the Kenah of
It's the rite of
running,
spring.
right?
This is what we do the third weekend in April.
How has all of this changed?
Oh, wow. It's so many ways, you know, involved with the running community, the technology aspect, the social media, the fundraising aspect is really critical, which is near and dear to your heart.
The mix of men and women?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
shifted
been
dramatically.
the biggest change from,
Yep.
80%
And
guys.
I was hanging with Dina Casta the other night, and we were talking about, joking around how it's evolved, and now the women are taking over.
Totally taken over,
Yep.
which
And
is good.
and my girl Desi coming back to defend her crown.
She's pretty special.
Yes.
But did that surprise you when Des Linden won last year?
No, actually, no. You know, knowing Desi, you know, when I recruited her back in my days at Garmin, we knew when the weather got tough, the fastest runner wasn't necessarily going to win, but we knew the toughest runner was going to win. And it all proved out last year, both male and female.
Very cool. So let's talk a little bit about what you've been up to with Atlanta Track Club.
Sure.
You guys have got a pretty cool deal there.
And let's bring in Rich, the CEO now, who just got in town.
Or maybe we can put him between. We have Rich, come on in. Let's slide that chair in.
How you guys doing?
Okay.
We're doing good. Let's see. We'll turn your mic on. Here, slide. Rich, I think you want to slide. What do you think?
Move over
How
more.
about that? You want me to move over a little bit? We're good. Slide in a little more, Rich.
Want me to move more?
We'll get cozy here.
Yeah, let me move it a little bit. No? You
Okay,
good?
there you go.
All right.
Does that work?
The gang's
We're
all
good.
here.
There we go. It's called being impromptu. So, Rich, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am spectacular. You've got the trials coming up February 29th next year.
Yes, we
Clock
do.
is ticking.
320 days and about
I knew you would know that.
21 hours, something like that.
When you get the bid, it's the good news, bad news. The great news, we got the bid. Oh, crap, we got the bid.
Exactly. We celebrated for about an hour and then we got to work.
And you're doing some great stuff, and it sounds like you're doing some great stuff with Polar as well.
Yeah, we're real excited about the launch of our partnership with Polar. Atlanta Track Club is a 55-year-old running organization, and to date we have not had a technology partner, a heart rate monitor type company,
Right.
that can help our community. We've got 33,000 members,
I was gonna
125,000 people finish our events who are looking for technology solutions when it comes to improving their fitness. So it was just a natural fit for us.
So 33,000. How many events are you guys putting on a year?
Too many. About roughly 30 to 40 events and programs.
I think there's only 52 weeks a year.
Yeah, so
last time I checked.
not a lot of weekends off. As a matter of fact, we had our Atlanta Women's 5K yesterday morning, so I didn't get here till last evening. So we're most weekends we're working as everybody else is running.
And the other thing that you guys are doing really well is just getting kids involved, getting grammar school, high school, and from our point, from Challenge Athletes Foundation perspective, we're getting, we're trying to get CAF and a lot of the programs around the country to accept wheelchair athletes, amputee athletes, to allow them to participate. And you guys are doing a lot of stuff just getting high school kids involved with sport and grammar school kids in track and field.
We do. There's a bunch to unpack there. I would start by saying a lot of people know Atlanta Track Club because of the AJC Peachtree Road Race, the world's largest 10K. But we were not formed around the Peachtree. We were formed in 1964 around honoring high school track and field and cross country
I didn't realize
athletes.
it. So that's the basis.
Correct. So we have two events, an all-metro cross-country banquet and an all-metro track and field banquet every year, which honors and celebrates the best of the best high school track and field and cross-country athletes in the state of Georgia. So that's our longest continuous running event, is our all-metro banquets. But now we've added to that. So we've got the largest high school cross-country meet in the Southeast and the Wingfoot Cross Country Classic, which is in September. But before that, before kids get to high school, we are building out free-to-all youth running programs called our Kilometer Kids program. And the idea, non-competitive, just get kids out there, teach them the sport so that they develop a love for it.
And Stan, talk a little bit about Atlanta and why that's so important to Polar.
Sure, and Rich and I have been discussing it for several months, and it's a multi-tiered approach. A couple of years ago when I first joined Polar, Rich had contacted me. The former Olympic training track was in disarray, and he came up with an idea to do a relay to raise money at the Peachtree Road Race Expo.
To redo the track.
To resurface the track, exactly. So we brought our team down there. We got Woodway treadmills involved, put up some screens, did a relay, raised enough money to resurface the track. So that was the first stage in developing a partnership that's come full circle. And now, not only are we working with the citizen athletes and the elites, but it's really imperative that we get involved with the school district. And Polar having an education division where we concentrate solely on physical education anyway, it was a natural conduit, and we had synergy there. So we have common goals there, and it's all about giving back to the sport, not just talking about it, but actually, producing the results and having the technology to help those kids achieve their goals.
Well, and getting kids into our sport, right? There's a lot of options for kids nowadays, and we want them in the track and field.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. So Atlanta, the Southeast, that's the home for football. And I joke with the kids in the state of Georgia that kids in track and field and cross country are the show. We are the show, not football. And it takes a little bit of effort and a lot of reprogramming for people to understand that we've got some great athletes in the Southeast, specifically in Georgia.
Especially some great heritage in terms of track and field.
Exactly.
Because so many of your football guys were also track guys.
This is true.
Yeah, I love that. So I was looking at it looks like for the marathon course, 3 6-mile loops and 1 8.2-mile loop, and it sounds like you designed this so all the high points of the city are part of this course.
Sure. So the main bid pillar was Olympic legacy and Olympic future. So we wanted to play up the legacy of the games, the past, what the 96 games did for the city.
Yes.
And then build on an Olympic future. So to your point, it's essentially 4 loops. It's just on the last loop we add an extra 2 miles where we bring you down to what was the Olympic Stadium underneath the Olympic rings.
Right.
And then bring you back to Centennial Olympic Park
So
as you hopefully punch your ticket to Tokyo in 2020.
That's going to be so fun. And in terms of the support from the city for this, because a lot of times, the cities look, this type of stuff can be an inconvenience. It's not like you're saying we're bringing the Olympics to Atlanta. We're bringing the Olympic trials for the marathon.
So Atlanta Track Club was involved in the 96 Olympic bid.
Right.
And we were charged at the time, long before I was there, to excite the city around the bid for the games themselves. So we see this as a very similar process, a similar mission to get all of the city out there. We talk about our kids. We expect to have 10,000 high school kids out there, cheer zones. I was a kid, 6 years of age, watching the Olympics on TV. I was inspired by watching Olympic athletes, and our hope is that there will be kids, high school and younger, who are out there on the streets February 29th next year and get inspired by what they see and what they experienced.
I think when I look back at the Olympic trials, marathon trials that impressed me in New York a number of years ago was great. I wasn't that impressed with the LA course. I thought that was a little jury-rigged. But when I look at what you guys are doing in Atlanta, it seems like you're saying, here's the greatest parts of the city, and we're going to make sure that we're going through there. We're not just trying to find miles, we're finding the best miles.
Correct. Atlanta is a great city. It's a growing city with a proud history. So from Centennial Olympic Park, which is the main legacy of the games, running by the College Football Hall of Fame, running by the MLK Center, going underneath the rings of Margaret Mitchell House, running up Peachtree Road, which is our iconic street in Atlanta. We're going to make sure that everyone who comes and experiences the trials walks away with a good sense of what Atlanta's all about. And
your 4th of July race, the Peachtree Road Race, which is iconic. And back in the day, Continental Homes, Runner's Den, Carlsbad 5000, all the epic races, and Peachtree was part of that group and still is. I mean, a lot of races have fallen off, and Peachtree has always maintained being the most important 10K around the country.
It's our flagship event. It's the world's largest 10K.
How many people?
60,000.
60,000.
So yeah, we just finished our lottery. So we just filled up the field. 60,000.
So people, is it all lottery?
A membership in Atlanta Track Club guarantees you into the race, and then we fill the field with lottery entrants.
Right.
So it's the 50th running of the Peachtree this year. So we're looking to do a lot of fun things. I think the thing that we have announced already that really focuses on the elite side of the sport is in our 50th year we're going to celebrate an event record, a course record in both the men's and the women's race, as well as the men's and women's wheelchair races with $50,000 event record bonuses.
I heard that you're putting big bonuses for wheelchair races. 'Cause over the years, there was a period of time where the wheelchair racing was, Jim Kenah, you had all the big name guys, and there was a pretty good number of events around the country where wheelchair athletes could make a living.
Yep.
And that sort of went away with the advent of hand cycles, racing chairs. Less and less people were doing it. But you guys are still all in on the wheelchair side.
We're all in, and we thought it was really important in our 50th year in a city like Atlanta that's known to be progressive and forward-thinking, to show not just in spirit and in talk, but in action, that we see our wheelchair athletes just as we see our able-bodied athletes, and to send a statement to the entire industry that these athletes should be treated the same.
Well, and it's funny because Paralympics is doing that now too. The prize money for Paralympics is going to be the same as it is for Olympics.
Yes. It's a great positive step. Yep.
So, Stan, of you being an 800-meter guy, I know you don't do the marathon thing, but 10K, have you done Peachtree?
Ironically enough, I just spent this past weekend.
Did he give you a comp entry
in Atlanta,
or no?
And Rich took me on the Chattahoochee Trail. We did a 5K, and he said the next trip down I'm doing a 10K. But in all seriousness, what was really encouraging, we did the kickoff for the official Peachtree 12-week training program.
Right.
With all the run specialty retailers, and then all the run leads, and with head coach Amy Begley. So it was really encouraging to see that it was definitely the right decision to partner with Rich and the Atlanta Track Club, and to see their enthusiasm and the passion for running in the city and in the outlying areas in Atlanta. It really is a very vibrant running community. And obviously, going into the Olympic trials, the heritage of the Peachtree Road Race adds to that. But on the true grassroots level, the true organic level, which is what we're really more interested in,
I was going to say,
from the age group all the way on up to the couch to 5K, the beginning runners, it was a really, really encouraging that it was the right decision to move forward. I'm really looking forward to evolving this partnership for sure.
And when you came back to Polar, one of the things I've noticed is the grassroots aspect of it. We just did the running clinic in San Diego, and what you're doing in Atlanta. Is that part of your secret sauce?
Absolutely.
Is that you want to be national, you want to be international, but you also got to be hometown.
It's got to be organic, and it comes from the true grassroots comes from the bottom, and it rises to the top. There's no shortcut to doing that. And even though we're a 41-year-old technology brand, have all this heritage, we're acting like a startup brand and doing all the things that you need to do organically to regain your credibility and your authenticity. And really, our fitness vision is to help the athletes at every level, whether you're training for the Olympics or you're starting your first road race. We have the data and the product to help you achieve those goals, and that's really our vision at the end of the day.
Rich, have you seen, I've noticed this over the last number of years, because of social media, back in the day, a lot of runners would sort of keep their workouts secret. They weren't sharing what they did. Now, all the kids are out there because they're out there saying, hey, I did this. This was my workout. This is what I left on. They're up on Strava. They're sharing everything, and I think it's making people faster because they know if that guy did it, I can do it.
That much is clear. And the information that flows from school to school, town to town, athlete to athlete is driving sort of that increased fitness and that faster high school athlete. Quick story. I used to train with one of Jim Ryan's son, Drew Ryan. Yeah. And Drew used to tell me all the time that his father was scared to share when he was training, scared to share his workouts because he wasn't sure if he shared his workouts, people would say, wow, that guy's not working hard enough. Or two, wow, that guy's underachieving in his races based on how hard he's working. Now it's flipped on its head now. Everything is about tracking your workout, logging your data, reflecting back on that, so that arms you going forward as you continue to train.
I think the basic mentality is Yeah, you can look at my workouts. You still have to do them.
Exactly.
Right? At the end of the day, if somebody wants to beat me, they've got to do my workouts and run faster than me on race day.
Well, two former 800 guys here.
Yes.
It hurts. There's no shortcuts.
No.
And there's no shortcuts for an 800, and clearly there's no shortcuts for a marathon. So, yeah, that's part of our training philosophy at Atlanta Track Club, is starting slow, getting people involved in the sport. We're more than just a track club. We're about changing the health and fitness of Atlanta.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of people who are just stepping into the sport. So giving them the tools as they step in the sport to learn how to train, and then as they get better, get more fit, get faster. We have all of the solutions right here at our fingertips, and that's why this partnership with Polar makes a lot of sense.
I love it.
And ironically enough, for the more mature runners that are not so tech savvy, now that they are getting more comfortable with technology, I got a text from him. He's turning into a tech geek now, too.
No way.
Oh, seriously, yeah.
Teaching an old dog new tricks? What?
So I didn't hit my quota of mileage for the day.
Yes.
According to my Polar, which I had set the settings the week before. So I know it was 10 o'clock in the night last week. My kids were upstairs doing homework, and I was on the outside of the house going around and around, making sure that I hit my goal for the day.
I love that. Thanks, you guys, for coming on. Congratulations.
Thank you,
I
Bob.
love this partnership. I think it's great.
Appreciate
Bringing new people into the sport every day. That's how you grow it.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Again, Breakfast with Bob, Boston Marathon Edition. Hold on, everybody. We will be right back.